Well, welcome back everybody. My name's Andrew and you're watching Kelley's Country Life. So today is an intro that is very late. Let me explain. So we actually started spray foam yesterday. Behind me in the background, you can probably hear the noise, see windows opening, see a truck back there. We've been working on spray foam since yesterday. It was so chaotic. These guys got here so early, 2 days ahead of schedule, by the way, which that's a good thing. We had a man lift swap out. We'll talk that in another episode. Had so much going on yesterday, I did not have time to catch the camera. Long story short, the house wasn't ready. These guys were 2 days early. The house wasn't cleaned out, which had to be. So mad dash to get everything ready, but we're good. They're working. Let me show y'all right now. They're in there spraying. Show you a short clip of that. Then we'll cut back, talk about what's going on, and carry you throughout this process. All right, so what you just seen was what I'm thinking is their lead spray guy right there. And I've been watching him for a little bit. He is methodical about what he does, the way they spray. They have to hold wires in just after they shoot. They have to work things just right, cover up areas they don't want to get hit. And as you can see, it's just a quick spray. They have to stop. That stuff expands out so quickly. There's another guy in there I didn't get to catch on camera, but he's actually walking around with cardboard. As soon as they spray, he's actually waving it. I don't know if it's getting the foam to slow down or skim over, and then they'll hit it real quick again with another shot of spray foam. Crazy, absolutely crazy process right there. Now I couldn't stay in there long because one, as soon as I come in, he says, hey, you don't want to be in here with lenses, glasses, anything like that. This stuff will actually stick. There was a fog and mist in the air. That's why they're wearing ventilated suits and respirators. So it's not like I could stay in there all day recording that. And I can't leave a camera set up in there because apparently that stuff would be misted and stuck all to the lens, possibly ruining my camera. So hopefully you enjoyed the shots that we got right there. They had to spend hours and hours just setting up, taping the house off, and getting it ventilated just so they could start doing this process right here. Then they wear those fully ventilated suits with coolers that are outside that actually pump air into them to keep them from, I don't know, dying, so to speak. Luckily, it's cool right now, but I couldn't imagine being in those suits all day long, spraying in a house that's 100+ degrees. Wow. All right, so we're about to go inside right now, and I'm going to show you the chaos that's going on. I have sheer anxiety seeing what I'm seeing. I don't know how these guys can handle this junk, but man, I can't stand it. So what I mean by that is they're actually shaving the walls right now with a tool, and it makes the biggest mess on the planet. They're covered in foam, everything. Stuff like that bothers me. I can't stand sawdust or anything else on it, but the guys say it doesn't really bother them because it's just foam. It's not gritty. It doesn't actually get into them. But check out the tools that they're using, what's going on in there. All right, so let me walk away so you can actually hear me. They got a diesel generator going for all their power, and there's music going in there. So some of those parts I don't know how I'm gonna edit it just yet. I either had to put my own music over it or I had to silence it, because sadly YouTube does not allow us to have music playing in the background. That's considered copyright infringement. We don't have a license to play that music. So it sucks. I can't stand it, but that's just the way it is. All right, so what you seen going on right there was an actual handheld tool that's got, looks like about a 26 or 28 inch roller to go over 24 inch spacing in the roof, which is typically a common spacing. And it's got a knurled, looks like stainless or aluminum knob that pretty much just grinds right down to the stud and then evenly shaves all the foam that's sticking out, because there's just no possible way for them to spray and have the spray foam expand and stop right before it would interfere with you putting sheetrock on the wall. So they have to go back and shave. Now, the one guy that was up on the scaffolding that was doing some shaving by hand, that's because that tool just can't get in it everywhere. And it almost looks like a weird fish scaler that he's using, but they have to go over that entire house, so to speak, everywhere that foam is sticking out and the tool can't get, and shave it by hand. This is a painstaking, tedious process. It may go over into a third day because they had one of their guys call in today that's kind of really got them behind. No big deal, not gonna hold us up. We want it done right. But the mess that's in there, holy moly, all that has to be cleaned up. So as you can see, those big green bags and tubes that were connected to an actual leaf sucker. It looks like a Toro leaf sucker, and that's how they vacuum up all that mess that they're creating. It bags it, then they haul the bags off. So wild process, absolutely wild process. All right, so the moment we've been waiting for, and why am I standing out here? Because it's raining. It's been raining all morning long. It's in the 40s. This is some nasty weather right here. I don't think it's gonna get out of the 40s today, and it's supposed to rain all night long. So you can't hear me around the porch with all the tin that's getting rained on and banging. However, you can hear me in the house now. Oh my, is it different. The guys just packed up and left. Let's go take our first look at the house being completely done. Here we go. Now, I'm sorry, the camera's gonna get a bit shaky because it is so dark. These cameras do not like no light. But check this out. And here's the thing, I'm talking and it's not echoing. That is so weird. Look at this, y'all. Wow, it looks so different. So man, does this look different? Does this sound different? Here's the crazy part. Y'all remember watching a lot of the videos of me inside working when it was raining and you couldn't even hear me at all? Other than the doors and windows being open, I can hear the tin, but all I hear is a light thud on the roof. That's wild. Check this out. Look how much lighter the room is too. Keep in mind, it's a super dark day out there. Now you don't have all this dark dingy wood, and I can see. Yes, I like it. All right, so I explained best I can with everything blowing around and making racket. But one of the first things that we had them come in and do, they've sealed the bottom plate to the floor. They have come in and they sealed every crack of every single stud. For example, they also come and sealed all studs to 6x6s. So their first day was just setting up, taping everything up, and sealing. I'm talking from the roof down to the floor. They did sealing. Then they came in and sprayed the foam. Now there is still some gaps where foam has pulled back, like say that. I'm sure it's sealed further in there. Keep in mind, this is 5.5 inches deep of foam. But I convinced them to leave me some extra cans of this material. They have it in a spray foam can that fits that gun that I shown y'all. And I'm gonna go around and hit any of these gaps that pull back as the house cools off and things expand and contract, because I still have another couple weeks before the sheetrock guys will be here. So y'all are probably noticing some cavities like this right here. So whenever you work up a quote with these guys, they give you a nominal range. So they gave me a nominal 5-inch fill. because there's going to be pockets and gaps like this, but then the majority of it's actually a full 5.5 inch fill all the way out to the studs. So the range is going to be somewhere around 5 inches, because you'll have occasional pockets. If you look behind me, most of it is full filled. So as y'all seen, they'll actually fill this out to 6 or 7 inches and then scrape it down, and they have a heck of a cleanup behind them. So the other thing to note is the owner come out and quoted this job, and he told me that this open cell material right here tends to get its full R value at a minimum of 3 inches thick. So a lot of houses do 3-inch fill. Obviously for a 2x4 house, that's kind of what you're aiming for anyways, because the lumber's only 3.5 inches, so they'll try to fill it to that. But he says you're getting your really good value at a 3-inch fill. Anything you do above it, yes, it adds to it, but not like you would think. Now, it was only like $700 more for me to go from a 3-inch fill to filling the entire house 5 inches. So it was a no-brainer to do that compared to the overall cost. We'll explain the whole cost and all down the road as well. And he did tell me you will see some additional benefit from it. So why not? Let's go ahead and do the full 5.5 inches and be done with it. Now, here's what's crazy. They only charged me $700 more to do all the extra foam. Then that requires them to do all the extra shaving. So that's a killer deal, because it was a tremendous amount of work for them to come in and shave this with a machine and then go back and hand shave everything. And the reason they're shaving is because we have to get this nice and level and flat for sheetrock to go on. You don't want your sheetrock bulging all out. Now, I decided to not shave the attic. I'll show you that. Doesn't look as good, but I'll explain why I did what I did. So this is where it's going to be really hard to see me, but oh my goodness, listen to how quiet it is, y'all. It's raining out there, and it's so quiet up here. So yes, this does not look the world's best, I'll admit, but this is an attic. This is exactly how it looks whenever they sprayed the outside. Then they had to come back and shave all this off. But I told them to leave it. So the reason I told them to leave it is, one, we're never really going to be up here other than throwing some random boxes up here a couple times a year, so you're not going to see it. And what y'all are not realizing is I have 7 to 8 inches of foam right here. Plus, what's critical is every time you shave back to a purlin or a stud like this, you can get some pullback and separation. That's some air leakage. Now, once you sheetrock, that does help seal some of that back up. So by leaving this full, not scraping, every single purlin up here, every beam, everything is sealed and fully encased, as airtight as it can be. And obviously 8 inches of foam isn't gonna hurt anything. This is gonna be the most insulated room in the house. And because this is a conditioned room, anything we store up here is gonna be awesome. Plus, the hottest part of a home is your south facing wall, which is that one, and obviously your roof, especially when you have a metal roof. 8 inches of insulation, I'll never know there's a temperature change outside. I'm expecting an amazing electric bill and a nice cool attic and a nice cool house. Now here's what's also cool. These guys went ahead, y'all remember all the wiring that was run across the floor? Some people were concerned about that. They went ahead and sprayed and sealed all of my electrical wiring in. Also, remember I had wiring run across the purlins here? That's all sealed and protected. No risk of damage at all. So, give y'all a look from up here. Oh my goodness, does this look so different. Looks good. I still can't believe how much the room lightened up. I knew it would, because dark dingy wood makes a house feel dark. But I bet on a sunny day this is gonna seem crazy. Especially once we get windows and glass in and let more light in. Now, we're not gonna paint the walls white, so this will darken back down. We're gonna have pine ceilings, which is a light color. And we're probably gonna be painting the walls a very light green color. So, our first dramatic change in a long time. This is extremely exciting to see. I'm very happy about this. So, I just do a little bit of touch-ups, a little bit more sealing myself. Really not much at all. Inside's kind of done. Now we're waiting on the sheetrockers. They're telling me they should be able to work me in about 2 weeks, which is awesome because they're 8 weeks behind, but he's gonna try to work me in between another job. They're thinking 2 days to hang all this, tape it up, maybe an additional day to do. We're gonna do a knockdown texture. We'll talk more about that in the future. So what's coming up on future videos now, since we're kind of done with the inside, we're gonna start installing doors and windows. My doors haven't shown up yet, but it sounds like they're set to arrive in the next couple of days. Windows, we'll go ahead and start knocking those out. We're going to jump back out on the siding on the outside and keep knocking that out. So hopefully about the time we're wrapping a lot of that up, we've moved into sheetrock. Then we're just going to keep plugging away. Then things get really exciting. It's all the finishing touches and details inside. Now that stuff takes a long time, but you can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel there. Actually, I think we'll see that once we get sheetrock up. I'm very excited about that. So a lot more house videos coming. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I now have an amazingly sealed house. We should have an awesome electric bill. I think this was money well spent. Thanks for watching.